Hello, welcome to Relationship Matters with Dr. Ufoma Wanchuku. Today we shall be taking part 3 of the session we started 2 weeks ago. We are talking about how couples should prepare for marriage. Like I said in the first edition, we are not looking at preparation here from the aspect of you preparing yourself, but I already laid a foundation that the best preparation you can make is you preparing yourself to be a better version of yourself, healing from past hurts, equipping yourselves with the necessary skills you need to make marriage work. And we're also not looking at preparation in the aspect of you choosing the right person. Okay, it's assumed that you have decided who to get married to, you are preparing to get married, so the two persons are working together as a team. So I said marriage needs to be prepared for. If you want to build a mansion, you have to settle down and plan real good. So if you want your marriage to excel, there are a lot of things you need to do to ensure that it works. So these sessions are not exhaustive. I have informed us we run a marriage academy where you can take premarital courses to build you up. But then these are just to give you some ideas on what you can do to prepare for marriage. So on the first edition, we looked at building communication skills. Last week, we looked at building conflict resolution skills. And today we shall be looking at financial management. We are looking today at creating financial harmony and building financial skills. As it has often been said that there are three major issues that leads to dissolution of marriages breaking down. One of which is communication. We've handled that. The second one is sex, and another major one is finance. So if you want to build a marriage that would last, you would need to pay attention to issues about finance, because that's one major thing that couples have not been able to handle properly, and it has led to the meltdown of their marriages. So while preparing for marriage, it will be necessary for you to establish some financial rules that will help you. Now, the first thing we are going to be looking at today in the aspect of building financial harmony and building financial skills, because I often tell people that marriage is expensive. Yes, marriage is expensive. So you could have been, for instance, the man has been feeding himself as a bachelor. Now you are going to be feeding two persons. Maybe you were staying in a one-room apartment. By reason of marriage, you might need to move to a bigger apartment. And shortly after the wedding, for most persons, probably minimum of 9 months, you'll be expecting a child. It's expensive to run a marriage. So it is necessary for you to pay attention from the very beginning and build financial skills. So one of the major things you need to look at is transparency. The major reason why people have issues as far as finance is concerned, because they are not transparent. So they feel they can be naked, have access to each other's body, but they are not open financially. So they marry in their body, but their finances in that aspect is more like it's a no-go area. So it becomes worrisome that you can grant somebody access to your body, and you can't trust the person with your money. So if you want to build a marriage where there are no issues, you must be transparent financially. A situation where the man is claiming he doesn't have money, the wife is claiming she doesn't have money, and the running of the finance of the home is left to just one person is carrying the load, and the other person earns money and then spends it on other stuff, would bring strain to the family. So it will be necessary for you to agree from the very beginning to work as one financially, to be transparent with your finances. Let the other person know what you are earning. Naturally, if the person knows you are earning, for instance, 50,000, the person will not make a demand of 100,000 on you. And then when you are that transparent and the both of you know how much is coming in per month, You have to also put heads together to see, okay, in what ways can we improve this? How can we generate more income, considering the fact that this is what we're doing as individuals and more expenditure will be coming? Can we build other sources of income? What are the questions we can answer? Because basically, money will come when you answer questions, when you solve problems. So you are looking at what problems can I solve, because value creation is what leads to wealth creation. So what value can we bring to the table? What questions can we answer? What solutions can we bring to ensure that our finances get better than how it used to be? And we must understand that the issue of finance is what the two persons need to work together. If everything is left for one person, so one person is the go-getter, one person is the one that is putting in all the effort, and the other person is claiming that this is the one that generates and then my own is to spend. At the end of the day, the person that is generating the fund will get exhausted. No matter how, even if the man says, okay, you don't need to work. So some people get married and the man says, my wife doesn't need to work, she should be a stay-at-home mom. And then, because of the kind of economy that we have these days, the whole weight rests on only that person. Over time, because even if she has to work from home, so we're not saying that necessarily you must have a job that takes you out of home. These days there are a lot of remote things you can do from home, a lot of businesses you can run online, and then you can still be available for your family. But just ensure you are bringing in value to the table so that one person does not feel used, one person does not feel stressed with the financial burden of the home. Another thing you should consider is understanding your own financial personality and the financial personality of the person you are going to get married to. So they have different financial personalities. You have the savers, you have the spenders, you have the investors, you have the ones that sow seeds dangerously, you have the ones that give, and you also have the avoiders, those that don't even want to talk about financial matters at all. So depending on your own financial personality, it will have a role to play in how you relate with money and how you handle issues that have to do with money. The knowledge of your financial personality will help you to build yourself better, to build yourself in areas. For instance, you discover that you are the one that is a spender. So the spender's own is, okay, money comes, you don't even budget, you don't plan. As soon as the money comes, anything that meets your eye, you just spend. Okay, you have to now work on yourself. You have noticed this trend in your life, you have discovered this is what it is for you. You have to now develop yourself in the area of saving. Then the other person on the other side, the saver, anything that comes, even if they are neat for the moment, the person is always looking at, let's save for tomorrow, let's save for tomorrow. Okay, that could also be at the extreme. So it will be necessary for a balance to be struck. So if you are the spender, there's you are the couple, for instance, one of them is a spender, one is a saver. The one that is a spender might just receive his salary today. Before he gets home, he has spent it on things that he or she did not even plan for. So in such a case, it will be better for the saver, the one that is more prudent, to be the one in charge of spendings, okay, so that there could be moderation. So it will be necessary for you to know your own financial personality, also know the financial personality of the person that you are getting married to, so that you can now agree on how to help each other. You also build yourself such that you don't end up having issues, having conflicts resulting from financial matters. Another thing is setting financial goals together. So as you get married and as you're planning for your marriages, you have financial goals. What do we can we achieve in short term? After how many months can we own our car? After how many months can we own a house? After how many months can we start going on vacation outside the country? So you set financial goals, but of course that will be if you are not aware of what is coming in and what you hope to come in. So that's why there should be transparency in all these things. So with this, you'll be able to plan and work towards it. The Bible tells us that when they were trying to build the Tower of Babel, God looked at them and said, these things that they have imagined to do, nobody can stop them. Okay, so it took God to come down and cause confusion in their midst for that vision of them building the tower to reach to where God was, for that vision not to come to pass. So you should plan even from the very beginning. Have goals of what you want, the financial goals you want to achieve as a couple. And as you do that and work hard towards it and trust God for it, you will be able to achieve those goals. Another thing is necessary for you to build financial skills. It takes skills and principles to make money. So you cannot just be sitting down and praying or wishing and then money will just be coming. So build financial skills, okay? There are things that are learned. There are things that are not just inborn. So you just don't just say, okay, I didn't grow up that way. They didn't teach me these skills in school. You can develop yourself. You can enroll in programs. In fact, at the Marriage Foundation Academy, one of the modules we handle is on finances. Okay? So that will get you grounded on the basics you need to know that will help yourself. Okay, so you need to build financial skills. And under building of financial skills, we talk about money making. How do we make more money? Okay, how do we manage money and how do we multiply money? Okay, and under money making, you can look at about 7 streams of income, ways that money can come in. It can be through salary, it can be through investment, it can be through rentage of properties, like you are renting your car, you have a house, you are renting. So there are about 7 streams of income. Like I've always said, this session, you can't exhaust the matter of finance in 15 minutes. You would wish to also enroll in our program or take some other courses on finance. Okay, so build financial skills. Discuss problems, like I said earlier, that you can solve to be able to make more money. And then under management, I've talked about under the financial skills, you talk about money making, ways through which you can make money, and then management, budgeting. A lot of people spend money and they tell you, I can't explain what I use the money for. How can you say you cannot explain what you spend the money for? You should be accountable. You should be able to account for every kobo spent. So you should be able to sit down as a family, as a couple, and say, okay, how much goes into feeding? How much goes into fuel, for instance? Some people just feel sometimes as if the money just got spent. No, you should be able to sit down and ask yourself, so how much is our rent per month? Multiply that by 12. How much does it cost for us to feed? What does transportation cost? Every expenditure, sit down and draw it out, every possible expenditure. Recharge cards. Some people do not have an idea of how much they spend on data, how much they spend on recharge cards per month. And they just feel as if money is just going, money is just going. No, sit down and plan and look at it. You might be able to look at some areas you are spending so much. So recently I discovered that it's as if I just load buy credit and before I know it, it's exhausted. I was wondering, I checked my plan. I discovered that I spend less than 10 minutes per call on MTN. So where is the money going into? It's just 2 days ago I realized, I don't know how that subscription came up, but I discovered that they deduct 200 naira from my phone every morning. 200 naira every morning. One said it's 100 naira per day data. Another one said it's breakfast, whatever. So after 6 in the morning, they will deduct 100 naira. And I was not taking notes. Because when I see those MTN messages, they will tell you that the money has been deducted if you want to opt out. It was then I opened and saw that this has been on for weeks, months. So imagine what 100 naira amounts to in a month. That's 200 naira in a month. That's about 6,000 naira. Calculate it. So you need to sit down and analyze, what do I spend on recharge cards? What do I spend on data? What do I spend on fuel? What do I spend on everything? All the possible expenditure in the home. State them out. Then how much are we earning? If what you are earning is now less than your expenditure, you know that you have to cut down on some things. But I think the better way is to, apart from cutting down on the things that you are spending on excessively, you could also generate more streams of income to be able to make up for especially the things that are very, very important. Of course, you are not going to cut off your rent. Are you going to sleep under inside the gutter or under the bridge? So you need to generate more funds. So financial management is a major skill that people will need to learn for themselves as individuals and as couples. You need to take note of the minute detail. So by the time children start coming, how much goes into school fees? And then you budget ahead and plan yourself how the money will be allocated. So you keep track of what is coming in and what you are spending and what you are to save. And then there is a suggestion. Okay, there are many schools of thought on this, but personally my suggestion, which you can also modify, but just ensure that you should make allocation for your needs. You should make allocation, some allowances for your wants, and then for savings. And if need be, if there is a loan you have taken, also plan on how you are to repay the loan. So my suggestion would be 10% for tithe, because God is the one that has given you that money. In fact, in your mind, just deduct it. If your salary is 1 million naira, just tell yourself it's actually 900. Because God said when you give him the tithe, he's going to open the windows and ensure that you don't lose what you have gotten. Okay, so tithing 10%, 50% for your needs, 20% for wants, and then 20% savings and loan. Okay, and then other ways too that you can multiply your fund. I wouldn't want this video to be longer than this. Like I said, you could always get more information. You can reach out to us. We have a course on this topic at our academy. You can take the course separately. You can also enroll for the academy. And wait, have you subscribed to this channel? If not, please do that. Share this video if you have been blessed, and see you in our next edition. God bless you.